Can you build muscle at home without weight? As long as you have a bit of space around you and the floor beneath you, anybody can start building muscle at home without weights, just using calisthenics and body weight exercise. So when you're a beginner, obviously you want to be focusing on improving your form and increasing your strength. So a lot of people start off not even being able to do a single push-up. When you're doing a push-up, you want to focus on going through the full range of motion. And if you can't do a full range of motion push-up right now, I highly suggest doing something called knee push-ups. Boom. Obviously this is gonna lessen the load and it's a lot easier than regular push-ups, and it can be done with a very limited amount of space. As you can see around me right here, I'm working with a limited amount of space just to show you guys what's possible. Now, even if you can't do knee push-ups, you can take things and elevate them and do incline push-ups. Now I have a bed right next to me right here, and you can actually take your bed and use it as a way to do incline push-ups. Now, once you get stronger on incline push-ups, you can move to knee push-ups. And once you get stronger on knee push-ups, you can move on to the full range of motion push-up. Another thing I want to talk about is negatives. You can do negatives to get stronger as well. Lowering down, trying to control the weight on the way up. Boom, you're on the floor. You can't get up, right? You just come up on your knees. Boom, get back into plank position. And these are push-up and negatives, right? Now push-ups, it's going to be your first compound movement. It's gonna build up your shoulders, your triceps, and your chest mainly. Now real briefly, I see a lot of people making these beginner calisthenics videos, but they don't go over essential things such as how often should you work out. So in my personal opinion, when you're a beginner, 2 to 3 days a week is fine. The reason why I say do 2 to 3 days a week is because you wanna get your form down and you wanna get stronger, right? These should be your main focuses as a beginner in calisthenics. Do a full body workout 2 to 3 days a week would be my suggestion for complete beginners. After you get your strength up and you're able to do all the basic movements, you can then decide from there if you want to do a different workout split, such as upper lower, or even push-pull leg split, or if you just want to stick with full body to optimize your time. Now you may be asking yourself, if I want to work my back but I don't have a pull-up bar, what can I do? Well, you can do something called Supermans, which I'll show you right here on the floor. The real basic exercise, but you want to have your hands maybe spread out to your side or in front of you. But basically, you want to lay down on the flat on the floor like this. Boom, lift your legs up and your arms, come back down, and that's really going to work that mid to lower back. And it's actually pretty challenging, even for people who do pull-ups. I can actually feel that in my lower to mid back. So that's a back exercise you can do without a pull-up bar. I do want to show you something you can do without a pull-up bar. All you need is a door. Just make sure you have a sturdy door. All right, so as you can see, I got my door right here. I do have a bit of foam pad right here that's gonna help close that gap. But basically what you wanna do is take a book. It could be any book right here. So I actually might need a thinner book, but you could take a book like this, slide it under that book, and that book right there is gonna help create some stability. And now this door should actually be pretty sturdy to do pull-ups on. Just be very careful with the type of door you have. Boom. You can do pull-ups on your door. Now I'm not gonna do that very much because I feel like this door ain't very sturdy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that one alone before I end up breaking my door. And then obviously, if you are able to get access to a pull-up bar, you wanna do some normal pull-ups, right? If you don't have a lot of money for a squat rack like this, obviously you can get doorway pull-up bars, which are actually pretty good. I used the doorway pull-up bar for years working out. I used to just have a simple little setup with dip bars and a doorway pull-up bar, and that's how I used to get my workouts done. But basically, if you can't even do a pull-up, you want to focus on negatives. So a negative would be like jumping up to the bar and slowly lowering down. Now, even if you can do regular reps, you should be doing the slow eccentrics anyway for optimizing hypertrophy. Other exercises you can do is stuff like archer pull-ups. So if you see my hand right here, I'm gonna put my hand out to the side, this one more in, and I'm gonna pull more towards one side than the other. And this hand is basically used as assistance here. So you can do that on the other side as well. Boom, and that's the way you can work up to one-arm pull-ups. Or even if you can't even do like a regular pull-up, it's too hard for you, chin-ups are actually easier because you get more assistance from your biceps here. So have your hands supinated towards you. Do some chin-ups, chest to the bar, boom. And that is how you can make the pull-up just a little bit easier. Now the pull-up is gonna work your biceps, obviously, your back, mostly your lats, and this is a great way you can use to build up your back. Actually, if you don't have a pull-up bar, go outside, man. There's a bunch of trees outside. you can use trees as a way to do pull-ups. Now, if you don't have a pull-up bar, but you live near a park, you can actually head to the park and do pull-ups on the monkey bars. Now, a lot of people may still be asking, what can you do for legs? You can do a lot for legs, actually. You can do like regular squats. That's basically what you want to start off with, obviously, right? Then you can move on to like pistols or levitation squats. So levitation squat is a little easier because it's easier to balance. So this is the levitation squat. Pistol squat would be your leg out in front of you. I got something in front of me, so it's kind of hard to do it. But boom, there we go, I did it. And stuff like that you can use to progress. So going from a squat to a levitation squat to a pistol squat is easy. Or I have a bench in front of me, but you can actually use your bed. Boom, take one leg off, do some Bulgarian split squats. Now I do Bulgarian split squats with weights, but even doing them with body weight at a high rep range is very challenging, right? So just be creative, come up with ways you can work out your legs. Even doing like calf raises, squatted like this, boom, lift up your toes. It's actually more challenging than doing them just standing up like this, I think, in my personal opinion. There's another exercise I want to show you, which is called sissy squats. Now be careful of your knees with this, but you want to bend at the knees, boom, barely touch the ground, come back up. That's one rep. Now these hyper focus on your quads, right? So if you want to work out your legs at home, there's absolutely ways to do that. I have found that doing explosive lunges, explosive squats, jump squats, right? Boom. I'm not gonna jump very high because I don't want to hit my ceiling. It's actually one of the most effective ways to work your legs when you're just working with your body weight. But I highly recommend if you're gonna do that, go outside, right? Go do it outside. All right, so we're gonna talk about abs for a minute. Now, a lot of people do sit-ups for abs. Sit-ups are all right, but what works your abs even more than sit-ups is actually crunches. So another great ab exercise I like doing is actually V-ups. I used to do these a lot, and anything like ab bicycles as well. Those are super difficult. I remember being tortured with these in high school. I had to do these too, I literally couldn't. There's a ton of ab exercises out there. If you do have a pull-up bar or a tree branch to hang from, I would recommend doing leg raises, which is one of my favorite ab exercises. But yeah, there's a ton of ab exercises as well. If you want me to make a video on abs or any other muscle group, go ahead and comment down in the comment section below. I want a video on exercises for abs or for legs or for back or any other topic. So I hear a lot of people talk about exercise progression, which yes, progressive overload is super important. However, a lot of people fail to mention the aspect of nutrition. So you have 4 requirements for muscle growth. The first factor is training stimulus, which is the most important factor because without training stimulus, your body won't have a reason to grow muscle. So I do want to mention the fact that you have to force your muscles to want to grow. This means making each workout harder and harder. So you have to increase intensity over time. Now, eventually you're gonna hit a point to where you're going to need to hit failure. If you're a complete beginner, you don't need to go to muscle failure. However, the more advanced you start to become, the more intermediate you start to become, the more you should be training to failure because you have to force the body to want to adapt. Now, when you first start off, things are gonna be great. You're gonna be making gains, you're gonna be building muscle. It's gonna be amazing because your body is not used to the stimulus or the stress you're putting it under, and it's going to adapt in response to that stress. However, the more adapted you get, the more you need to actually do to increase intensity. Increase intensity by doing more reps and sets or increasing the weight. The second factor when it comes to muscle growth is proper nutrition. You need protein, right? And you need at least 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. However, I would say even go with 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight because number one, it's gonna help you stay lean because it's gonna help you stay full. The more protein you eat, the more satiated you're going to feel. So 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is gonna ensure that you are getting enough protein to build more muscle, right? You're gonna be building more muscle, repairing your muscles from the previous workouts you've done, and it's just gonna ensure that everything is running smooth. Now, the third thing is actually water. Believe it or not, your muscles are actually 95% water. You need to be drinking a lot of water throughout the day, but I'm always drinking water. I don't even track my water anymore because there's no point. I'm always drinking water. There's water right behind me, right? I'm drinking this as I do this video, right? And the fourth and least talked about aspect to muscle growth, there's all these people with hustle culture, work harder. Yes, you need to work harder, but guess what you need to do for muscle growth as well? You need to rest and recover. Guys, if you're stressed out, that's gonna hinder your muscle growth. Guys, some things you can do to reduce stress is meditation. take ashwagandha. There's certain supplements you can take to help reduce your stress, right? Your sleep quality. You need to make sure you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Now, a lot of people will argue with you and say, oh, I get 4 hours of sleep, I feel fine. Guys, that is a psyop. Like, you're psyoping yourself into thinking that you're fine. Do you know the percentage of the population that can actually survive on 4 hours of sleep is less than 1%. So it's like 0.01% or something crazy like that. That is very few human beings on this planet that can actually go with 4 hours of sleep. You need 8 hours of sleep minimum to optimize muscle hypertrophy, aka muscle growth. So make sure you're getting your sleep in, take some melatonin or some other sleep supplements to help you get to sleep at night.